Just say whatever you feel like saying in response, because they didn't really care when they asked anyway. So if you want to say, oh, yeah, because I like to go puke them up right after, like, fuck it. Then they won't ask again.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
And you sounded so sad.
I'm trying not to be loud.
Oh, no. You can speak up a little bit. You can speak up more than that.
Don't dull your light for us.
Yeah. Let your light shine, as they say.
Oh my gosh, how many hymns are stuck in my head right now?
Oh, no.
Welcome to Pickles and Vodka, the mental health podcast where we don't sing hymns.
But we do have religious trauma.
That's right.
I'm Christina.
Oh, yeah. I'm a co-host, Lauren.
And we're very professional.
Yeah, always.
Because we have a guest today.
A surprise guest to me.
Guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Guest. I go by Janai, and I'm professional. I also use they, them pronouns, and I have mental health.
Congrats.
Mental health. I would like to know who does not have Actually, there's been years where I felt like I don't have mental health. That's actually worse.
What about mental illness, though?
Have that.
Yeah. Got that.
Yeah, Janai, are you saying, like, your brain is healthy?
I'm cured. I have, I'm self-undiagnosing, rather. So, AMA.
Maybe next episode.
Basically, we're saying that being on pickles and vodka cured them.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it takes.
No, because as we have discussed, this is not a replacement for therapy. It is just part of a healthy, balanced behavioral health care diet. But we don't diet.
No. It says you're at the limit of the number of guests. Upgrade to Clean Feed Pro for up to 32 guests.
Oh my God. Can you imagine what that'd be like?
Difference?
That's crazy, right?
That's like, okay, the fourth guest, just get your own Clean Feed.
It's too much numbers.
Why don't you go first? Where are you at?
Thank you so much for asking. I have been trapped inside since last Friday. It is now Saturday, so that's 8 days that I have not been able to go on a walk. The only time I go outside is to take out the trash. I should say why. We were hit with an ice storm.
Mm-hmm.
So basically it snowed and then it rained and then the temperatures went like sub 20 and it sleeted. And so it was just a really unfortunate combination of factors, but it's like unprecedented. The whole city is encased in like 4 inches of ice and the plows can't get through it.
Yeah.
Dirt and salt don't do anything. So it's like ice skating. It's really scary.
Holy crap.
That sounds fun.
I mean, it hasn't been the worst because also it hasn't been the best. So my sister got sick on Friday right when this all started. Couldn't have asked for better timing. And so we're just together for 8 days straight. And so I get sick too. And that's why I'm trying to watch my voice today.
Well, yeah, because you have, like, if the person you're living with gets sick and you have no choice but to be shut up in the house all day, that's a great environment.
But weirdly enough, I'm not, like, suicidal. So that's cool.
Congrats.
Thank you. I'm very frustrated and restless.
Well, that's expected.
For sure.
The lack of exercise is fucking me up, I gotta say. Like, it's really making me remember that I have a problem, and I don't like that. But that's where I'm at. I'm gonna pass the baton to you, Lauren.
Okay. I've had an interesting week, and I was thinking of how to answer this question. I was like, I know it's a mental health podcast, but I'm going to tell you about my physical health, because that's been unusual this week.
They are related.
We did not get the ice, which I knew a lot of people in the U.S. did in that storm, but we just got more just the snow, which I'm thankful for because it means I can leave my house now that they've cleared some things. But on Monday morning, after all the snow, then the plows had come through, but it snowed so much and just continuously that it was like when they plowed they did that thing where it's kind of like, yeah, they plow, but it's kind of like scraping over snow. So there is still just like the thinnest layer of like scraped, packed down snow that's really, really slippery on their parking lot. And I'm taking Taco out and like my legs flew up from under me. Like I swear to God, I had to look like a cartoon character, like I got tricked by the Roadrunner or something like that. I was like, it probably looked comical if you saw it. But I mean, it was just like, my legs immediately both went up, and I landed square on my tailbone and heard a crack, which is a little disconcerting when you hear that. I'm not sure at this point. I go back and forth, and when I looked it up, we've talked about on the podcast, I've broken ribs before, and tailbone's kind of the same thing. It's like, unless you have a reason that it's super dangerous to suspect, then they're just going to tell you go home and it's going to heal and it's going to hurt.
Knowing where can help you in the healing, though. I can help you with that for free.
Great. Because that was part of it. I was like, I would just go to like an urgent care, and I know there's still like, even with insurance, of course, because U.S. insurance is stupid, I'd still be like a $75 fee for that. And I was like, that's not worth it for them just to be like, well, you just got to go home and hurt.
That doesn't sound like you.
I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth right now because it was like starting to feel better, and then sometimes I move wrong, and I'm just kind of like, maybe it's, just like a really like tiny fracture or something, and sometimes I'm moving it. I don't know, but we'll get through it. So I'm dealing with that already. My butt hurts. And then on Wednesday, the first day I went back to work after that, and I'm driving home, and suddenly my pointer finger on my right hand, as I'm getting into the car, it hits a certain way, and and it's freezing cold out, and it goes like completely numb and tingly. And I've had that happen before, so I'm not too worried. I'm just and one of my fingers on the other hand started doing that, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever, sit on them, warm them up, bend them to get some blood flow going. But it is not going away. And at this point, I'm driving home from work, and I'm looking and I'm seeing them both turn like pale yellow, look like shriveled up little raisins. I mean, I held my pointer finger up and I was like, oh my God, it seriously is half the size of the finger next to it now. And
wait, so these are two fingers on two separate hands?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I looked up Raynaud's syndrome, which is like blood flow not getting to your hands, particularly in cold, stress, things like that. If you look that up, they looked exactly like the pictures where they show. I mean, there's just like a very obvious demarcation where it's like you're all flesh colored, and then this finger is just like pale neon yellow. So that's exactly what they looked like, but it is not coming back. And I'm driving home, and I have a good, like, especially with extra snow and traffic, I have a good like 40-minute drive. And I'm starting to freak out because of that, and I'm just seeing them look freaky and be numb, and I was just suddenly getting in my head like, if there's no blood flow going after a certain point, isn't there, I don't know, like tissue death, and they're going to have to amputate my fingers? How am I going to play the fucking piano without two fingers? So I'd start like driving with my knee, frantically massaging both hands, and it seriously is not until I get home, like a good 40 minutes, where they finally started to have some color to them.
Oh my God.
So that freaked me out a bit. I guess I'm not quite there yet, but the good thing it did is push me being eternally resistant to like, I know I haven't seen a doctor in like 3 or 4 years, so probably should, but I'll put it off for another month, another year, or whatever. And now I'm kind of like, I think I probably should. Just to tell them, like, this weird thing happened. If you have any thoughts. And also I'm broken, so maybe check that out too.
How's your hydration?
I'd say medium. I'm not one of those people that like brings in the gallon jug of water and fills it up 40 times a day, but I drink water throughout the day.
They will immediately tell you to drink more, so you should start now.
No, I get that. I know. I feel like that's a standard response. When I regularly had a dietitian, that was every time too. She'd be like, how much water do you drink a day? And I'd be like, compared to my past, it's pretty good. And she's always like, well, drink more water. And I'm like, oh, okay, I gotcha.
So what did you say you thought it was? Raynaud's?
Yeah, it's like R-A-Y, I think N-A-U-D apostrophe S.
Raynaud's.
Yeah,
Raynaud's.
Okay.
That's how to pronounce it.
Okay. Yeah, I was never sure how to pronounce it. It's a common thing. It's not something that's generally considered to be, like life-threatening or anything. But if your fingers aren't getting any blood flow for 40 minutes, that might be a little more of a dangerous situation.
That's like having frostbite.
Yeah.
Plus, don't you have joint pain?
Yes. I got a lot of shit going on. That's why it's kind of like this might be the one that scared me enough to be like, okay, let's maybe finally talk to somebody and stop saying, I'm sure it'll work itself out.
Actually, yeah, you should. That's my halfway professional medical opinion as a former student.
That's why you know this stuff.
And as your co-host, I think you should get it checked out because you can't podcast with a broken tailbone.
I mean...
Well, it's possible I can, if it is right now.
But should you?
That's pretty much it, I guess. It's kind of like messed with my head some because I'm used to being invincible.
I think that's why you should go.
Yeah, I feel like all three of us kind of have that problem.
Mm-hmm.
Janai, where are you at?
I'm here in my office with my 2 energy drinks, and I just found my wallet that I thought was lost, that I had actually forgotten I thought I lost. So it's been a roller coaster this morning.
Yeah, last night was when you noticed it was gone, right?
Yeah, I thought that I had fumbled it, like, while walking back probably 8 hours before smoking weed. So, anything could have happened, but I found it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yay. That made me so relieved because you were leaving me a voicemail, and then at the end of the voicemail you were like, oh, my wallet.
Oh God.
And you were talking about going to the store. So at first I was like, okay, well, were they like, oh, I need my wallet to get stuff at the store, damn it. And then you left another one and you're like, also, I just found my wallet. I was like, oh wow, okay. That's amazing.
It was great, yeah. I'm used to losing things, so I have cash and stuff. But, by the way, don't leave your house with all your cards, listener.
Yeah.
You don't need all of them. Maybe 2.
I just do driver's license and 1 card, like, usually.
And cash,
I don't even have cash.
Yeah, I don't usually have cash either.
In this economy, who has cash?
What?
Well, good. We needed some good news on this podcast.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Today we're finally responding to a listener voicemail that was left about 2 weeks ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's from a listener named Mads. We've all listened to it separately, but I figured we could all play it simultaneously and then talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's Madeline. Longtime listener, love the pod. So something happened at work today that I was wondering if you would consider talking about in an episode. It's about people commenting on your food choices at work. It makes me feel so angry and exposed and violated when anybody comments anything about how much I'm eating or what I'm eating. And at work today, somebody was like, why do you always eat that yogurt? Why do you always have that flavor? Why do you always sit in that chair? And I just said, because I do. I'm not going to say anything more than that. But it makes me so frustrated, and I don't know how to handle it, except to just kind of glance over whatever it is they say. Because I'm not going to say, I'm getting through an eating disorder. That's none of their business. But it made me so angry, an irrational amount of anger. Anyway, just wondered if you guys have ever dealt with that. I mean, surely I can't be the only person.
Have we ever?
Uh-huh. Just nodding along the whole time.
So we kind of did an episode about this in 2022, I think. And I already forget what it was. I'm not going to go back and look. But Lauren, what's it called?
I think it's called Like a Good Supervisor Never Leaves a Scale at the Snack Table.
Yes.
Inspired by a personal story.
An insane story, by the way. So we're going to try not to repeat stuff we said there. But with that said, it was a long-ass time ago. And we have a guest this time that can bring new experiences. Our workplace correspondent, Janai.
Mm-hmm.
Corporate
correspondence.
Yes.
You're right. That has a better ring to it. So yeah, who wants to go first? Also, I love Mad's accent.
Right?
I just wanted to say that. Also, thank you for leaving us this voicemail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that sticker.
Yeah.
Yes, seriously message us because we're not going to message you for your address.
Or else.
Or else. Sorry.
Okay, so I no longer eat at work. So
Why don't you eat at work?
why don't I eat at work? Because I have an eating disorder. And it's just a lot of work to keep up after that at work. And everybody wants to fucking talk when you're in the bathroom because they're very well-adjusted people.
That's crazy, though.
Yeah, I agree. That's a different topic. What?
I mean, it was one particular week. So it doesn't happen anymore. But I'm also, I don't know, kind of annoyingly open about that too. Because at this point, if I'm gonna die, so everybody's gonna know why, and they don't have to deal with finding out the answers. They'll be like, oh, they're gone, and that's probably why. But also because I don't really always have control over what's immediately coming out. My filter is more of a colander now. And it's just a whole lot of work to walk back things like, it tastes just as good coming up. Or man, I can't wait to eat tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had one manager at my current job who was like, oh, well, aren't you going to eat? And I was like, no, I can't eat until sundown. And she was like, well, I don't like that.
What are you, a vampire?
I was observing Ramadan. So...
Sorry, that was a really
No, it's okay.
rude comment. I thought that was some eating disorder thing, which is the only reason I joked about it.
I mean, it happens outside of the holiday also, so...
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so, but there's a lot more that I can talk about from the person I lived with, which was kind of like work anyway.
In what way?
So... we used to cook and eat together a lot because when I first started living with them, it was my pay for my job at the time. But he would always make comments I will eat for volume. So I used to eat a ton of salads in those the big size mixing bowls, just eat it. And he would always be like, that's a lot. You're going to eat all that or something.
Ugh.
Or just those kind of comments. And then you're eating that. Also, what you're not going to eat, or looking slim, or
Ugh.
So, but the funny part about that is, sure, a lot of people just don't think about how their words affect others because they don't have experience or don't care to do so. Either one. But, you met this person when you lived here and when he first moved here.
Yeah.
And I coached him on how to speak to someone with an eating disorder. And he was like, oh, okay, that all makes sense. And presumably he didn't make the comments I was concerned he would have, or I would have hoped you told me by now.
No, he didn't. Yeah, the first time we met, Janai wasn't even there.
Yeah, no, I was
wow.
in Illinois.
Because I lived in Seattle with this person in separate neighborhoods, but Janai was in Illinois and connected us from afar. So yeah.
If you guys can hold on for just a second, I'm going to try something.
Oh boy.
You know what? The PS5 is actually also made for cats, but it's called PS, or...
Okay. The other day when Taco was just being too goddamn annoying for me to try and work, then I sent him out of the room and shut the door, and he actually seems to behave okay being shut out of the room. It's not meatball level, so since he was driving me nuts and trying to yank the cords out of my headphones and everything, then I was like, let's see if I can just put you in a different room.
What if Taco got a nosework mat? Maybe he just needs a puzzle. You know those worthless kitchen towels that are for decor but don't absorb?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can put treats in those and roll them up. and like have 2 or 3 and tie 'em in knots, and dogs fuck with that.
That's a great idea.
They go hard, and then, they need that stimulation too. I might even have the demos I made for my old boss. I could send you.
Speaking of work.
Oh yeah, anyway, so it's just so ingrained in the culture to not even like think about it. And it's not even like there's other cultures where you can just tell someone you're looking fatter, like, and that's I mean, it doesn't not sting, I'm gonna assume, if you are sensitive about that, but it's more, I guess you would be more dulled to it. But still, it's just like when, if someone loses a bunch of weight, and you're like, oh my god, congrats, and then it's like, oh my god, thanks, I have cancer, I'm dying.
Right.
Like, just don't talk, ask questions first.
Well, yeah, I feel like don't talk to strangers about their bodies, obviously, but aside from that, I feel like the people who are the closest to us are the ones that feel they can make those comments, like the worst comments. Because, like, that person, your ex-roommate, like, no, they didn't say anything triggering to me. It goes great. But, like, you have the same disorder and they lived with you. So, like, how the fuck did they not take those words you gave them to heart and apply it to you?
Oh, I mean, I can tell you from experience that you can tell someone and they can understand when you say the conversation, but it's hard to change what they want to do anyways. Like, they'll conveniently forget over and over.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they don't want to grow.
Yeah.
So, like, you can tell them something about how whatever they do affects you. And, next thing you know, they're like, well, you can't tell me how to live my life, or you can't ask me to change who I am. And, like, you're just trying to let them know how what they say affects you. And it's so unacceptable to do that.
Because, like, especially, I immediately think of my parents, which is why, we've talked about this on episodes, why I've kind of given up trying to instruct them, because I have given them some guidance of, like, maybe don't comment on people's bodies at all, but particularly I don't want to hear it. And they'll seem to listen when I have this conversation and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, and I understand. But, a week later, it's just like it fell out of the other side of their head. And they're just kind of like, yeah, but I like to comment on people's bodies, so I'm sure that I can. It'll be fine. She won't mind.
Because she knows I don't mean anything by it, so it negates anything.
Yeah.
That's another line I would get. Like,
oh, yeah, when people are like, oh, I don't mean it.
Yeah.
Why'd you say it then?
So you're just choosing to take it that way?
I don't know. I can't remember if I've told this story before, but I was just reminded of the first time that I am in treatment, and my parents come for the, like, parents' weekend or whatever. So we have sat in therapy sessions at this point. They have sat in on groups. They've had specific ones tailored towards, like how to deal with a family member who has an eating disorder. And yet I get to spend the night at my mom's hotel that night, and I go over with her, and the hotel had some kind of just, little like buffet dinner that you could take part in. And so we just agreed to do that. And afterwards, I remember she tells me, she's like, oh, well, you must be doing better. I mean, you ate more than I did tonight.
Step in shit, Susan.
Right after you have just been through all of this stuff that has to have, I would hope, be telling you don't say things like that.
Just internal screaming all the way.
I think I just had no response because I was so shocked. I was just kind of like, I can't imagine a worse thing to say.
It seems
or at a worse time. Yeah.
Was she surprised that she should not have said that?
Oh, that's why I said I don't think I even responded. I don't think I even called her out on it, because I was just kind of like, if you've just been hearing for the past 12 hours why you shouldn't be saying this and you turn around and do, then I don't know what else I can tell you at this point.
That's someone who just refuses to face discomfort for anyone. Like, you gotta fix yourself.
Exactly. That's a good way of describing my mom.
I think a lot of people are really awkward and uncomfortable around eating disorders. They don't know what to say, so they just say whatever the fuck comes into their minds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have any work stories that are new because my jobs right now are remote, so I can eat all day if I want, and no one can say anything. But when I was in the psych ward, I've talked about the shitty food I had. I'm vegan, and so there wasn't a lot I could eat, so I would get really weird combinations of things, and so people would always see my tray and, like, comment on it. Or, like, I don't know, I would hoard spices and stuff in my room.
Mm-hmm.
A couple times there was a banana in there. And, like, I was always worried people would say something. I think that's the opposite side of this, is that even when people don't say anything, you're still paranoid that people are thinking things.
Yeah, it's like, but did you see, and what are you thinking, and just not saying, but internally going like, that's strange.
Yeah, like, now that I think about it, it probably wasn't as big of a deal as I thought, but, like, because I'm so paranoid, I would, like, make sure to... I almost never ate in the common room with everyone else. I would usually just eat in my room or, like, on a chair in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And I told people, when someone asked, I was just like, I don't like to eat around people, especially under a glaring fluorescent light.
Ugh, yeah.
But yeah, I really don't like it when people comment on other people's food. And it happens a lot in the psych ward because there's not a lot else to talk about. People will talk about their food choices and, like, how their food is, and they're not disordered.
Yeah, they're
that I know
probably
of.
just, like, desperate for a conversation. It's like, what is around me?
So that's, yeah, I think the same could be said of a workplace too, to some extent.
Yeah, because you're generally, I mean, you're not usually, like, best friends, so you don't know each other's lives. It's just like, oh, we're all sitting here having lunch. Let's talk about it. But one I thought of too, when we were listening to the voicemail, that I feel like, I don't know if I have specific examples, but I mean, it happens so often when you're around coworkers and you're all eating, like, especially if you're eating less or you're eating something that's lower calorie, and yeah, it's maybe because you're beating yourself up internally, but someone will see you and just be like, oh, you're so good. Look at you're eating a salad, you're good, not like me.
Oh, God.
Oh, I hate it.
You're bad for that.
Yeah, if I just turn around and be like, you're eating a burger, you're evil.
No.
Oh my God. I used to eat, like, animal crackers at work or pretzel. I like crunchy stuff. Mm-hmm. So I would pour it into a plastic cup and just be, like, snacking on it all day. And people, like, again, no one said anything. I just felt like I was so loud. Every time I would eat crunchy things, I would, like, hold it in my mouth until it got soggy and then eat it so I wouldn't make any noise crunching. And, like, no reason. Just, I was worried I was bothering people or people would think differently if they knew I was eating animal crackers all day. One of my old bosses actually said, like, why do you eat animal crackers? Isn't that, like, for kids? Like, first of all, sir, yeah, animal crackers are delicious.
Exactly.
For all ages.
For all ages. But they are very crunchy.
Mm-hmm. Especially those Mama's Circus ones. That was loud, so sorry.
Yes. My favorite.
The first time I had those, we can't have those anymore.
Yeah, my eating disorder Tumblr that I started in 2012 is called I Want Animal Crackers. Don't ask.
No one needs to. We all know.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Now everyone knows.
But the voice message also, I believe, was seeking reassurance in how to respond.
Yes.
Which is like, do what you're doing. Because, you know, you don't actually owe the workplace courtesy to people who are being invasive. They will not learn.
Yeah, that's a them problem.
It will be more comfortable to laugh it off, but they will not learn and they will continue to do something. And some of them will complain also if you just say no thanks to an invasive conversation. But if HR gets involved, you will tell them and they'll be like, oh, yeah, no, sorry. So just do it. Just say whatever you feel like saying in response because they didn't really care when they asked anyway. So if you want to say, oh, yeah, because I like to go puke them up right after, like, fuck it. Then they won't ask again.
That's a good point.
True.
Yeah, for me, and this I think I'm pretty sure is a story that I shared on the last episode that was sort of like this. I just usually kind of like brush off whatever the comments are, but I feel like how I've gotten through that for myself lately is just imagining, like if I did say like the stark truth and just like what their face would be, and that like makes me laugh because I think of the coworker back in Chicago who was already would regularly comment on my body, which was uncomfortable. And, and it's because like she thought she needed to lose weight and she was just thought, like she wants to look like me. She finally like corners me in the bathroom and is just like, tell me what I have to do. Do I have to starve myself for days? Do I have to work out for hours every single day and never, eat anything with any sugar or calories or fat or anything? And I really just like, in my mind, I wanted to just like give her the dead stare and be like, well, that's a start.
Like, you need to see a therapist. That's what you need to do.
Do I need to be miserable?
You're going to pay about the same, like, for that or one of those scams out there.
True.
Oh, God.
Yeah, how about a new advertising campaign? It's like therapy. It's cheaper than Ozempic.
Right? But, like, it's back now. We're trending down for, anorexia chic with the coming change in politics.
Oh, of course.
Wait, what am I missing?
So, skinny chic is coming back.
I knew that, yeah.
Well, yeah, and it kind of it can be kind of related during, like, rise of authoritarian or fascist kind of situations, because, that's a huge demographic to keep starved and less able to fight or understand.
Yeah, because your brain doesn't work so well either when you're starving.
No.
That's funny you bring that up because literally 2 days ago, I saw someone on Substack posted about how women being influenced to be skinny and frail in an era like this feels like a setup. And I commented and I was like, I think about this all the time and I still have an eating disorder. It's almost like I can't control it or something. But then I got serious and I recommended some harm reduction stuff, some anti-colonialist resources. By the way, if you're looking for those, if you have an eating disorder, Nalgona Positivity Pride is a really great resource. Check it out. I'll link it in the show notes. But they do like webinars on harm reduction every now and then and like anti-colonialist practices. And they talk a lot about the limitations of therapy and like how harmful it can actually be, and like alternatives.
We should discuss that at length at some point.
Yeah, I'd like to check that out for sure.
Also, how's everybody's therapy going?
It's not.
Oh boy.
But you're doing the things because that made it, kind of. You're trying.
But the idea was for me to be in PHP by the time our therapy day rolled around. I'm still not in PHP, and our therapy day was a few days ago, and I didn't go because...
Well, you also can't get out of the house.
Yeah. Like, you've actually been, like, contacting places, like, you're doing the things. You're also frozen in the box.
Yeah, I've been making phone calls.
Okay.
I forgot to talk about that and where you're at because it's really frustrating. I was telling Janai, like... At one place, I had to leave a voicemail, and the voicemail box was full.
Ugh.
Another place, like, didn't know what PHP was. And
oh my gosh.
And, like, they said they'd transfer me to someone, and then they hung up on me.
I can't, it is a failure on a health service provider to not have at least called that number back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no one's called me back.
That's the problem, like you said, with the places that were failing consistently in just basic communication are the for-profit ones.
Yes. Yeah, the one that is the most promising is a county program. and it's within walking distance of my house. But like, yeah, that's the one I'm probably going to go to once the ice clears. But it's been really frustrating. And like, what if I was still in crisis, you know?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's, I want to say unacceptable, but also where this, you know.
And, not but.
You're right. It's unacceptable and understandable.
Yeah. And you went through the same thing here when you were looking into treatments.
By here, you mean Seattle.
Oh, yeah. So sorry. That's where I live.
The brain fog is real. Janai, how's your therapy going?
I hate virtual therapy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
me too.
I mean, I would probably cancel a lot more if it were in person, to be honest. But also, my therapist is too gentle, I guess, and I don't know. Like, even if you're handling a bomb, you need to move with purpose.
Are you calling yourself the bomb?
No, I'm calling myself fragile, as in a bomb, not a flower.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just joking because I can't help myself.
But my website is thebomb.com.
That's funny because I really wanted you to respond, no, I'm calling myself thebomb.com.
Yeah.
But seriously, how long have you been seeing her?
I've been seeing them for over a year. Because this is now my third round in meeting a deductible and being reminded of their prices. So I'm probably gonna cancel my next session, or maybe the one after that. It needs to be less. I need to pay this less frequently.
I feel that.
That sucks. I hate it here.
It's great.
God. Like, how can you have someone that you see every week, like regularly, and they're visibly deteriorating in front of you, and you're just business as usual?
I mean, they have suggested inpatient and PHP and stuff, and so is my other doctor, but I think that they probably know that I don't tell them the whole truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so they, I think, are very focused on crisis aversion, but not just that, meltdown aversion, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because, they won't push, I want something on a timeline just so I can see progress, I guess. But they will, let me basically bitch. Often, even though, I don't know, yeah, I guess that's the point of therapy, but also I don't feel like that is how I should be having therapy, which I've told them also.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of therapy, but not all of it.
So maybe I just don't know what I need. But it's not in person, so I can't, when you struggle to make eye contact, virtual is bro, let me just call my friend and not have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what it feels like when they allow me to go on. And I know they do it because I don't, of all the issues I've had with being spoken over and stuff. But I've also asked a few times that that's not relevant in the clinical setting. Don't worry about that. I'm paying you to keep me on track. So do it.
Yeah.
Please. But also, the world is crumbling.
Yes.
God, so, I'm not doing well at my job. I can't blame them.
All I have to say is this one long sigh.
We need a dog sigh. You know.
Sorry, I put him in another room.
Lauren, how's your therapy going?
So mine is actually going pretty well. We've talked about this some, and she is the best therapist I've ever had before. She does still cancel a lot. I feel like now she's maybe canceling 35 to 40% of the time, where before it was over 50% of the time. Though generally when she's canceled, I've had more than a day's notice, and if she can, she offers makeup times now. Where before I would often be driving home from work knowing that I'm going to my appointment in an hour and I get an emergency text like, sorry, had to cancel. I've been hanging on by a string all fucking day for this appointment. How can you do this to me?
Why don't you have to pay me?
Right? And also, it's kind of getting there, but at least like in the beginning, I was like, I'm seeing her not in such an abject state of crisis, so it does not destroy me to no end if I do get canceled on. Also, I think I knew coming in that I was like, she's not magically going to never cancel. So, that brings up the money part where I probably can't necessarily afford to see her every week. I could every other, maybe try for 3 weeks a month. So I schedule for every week, knowing like at least one of these will probably get canceled.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How's your homework going that you talked about on the podcast a couple episodes ago?
Oh shit, what was my homework? I'm sure I haven't done it.
To talk to your boyfriend about the dog stuff?
You haven't done it.
Yeah, no, that hasn't happened.
Has your therapist not brought it up again? Because you made it sound like she was really going to hold you to it.
Oh, of course. I mean, I think the homework with her more was because we talked about me bringing him into a session.
No, you did talk about how she said you have to have that conversation.
Oh, yeah. Well, but
in addition to bringing him in.
Yes. The deadline for that, though, was before it can't go a full year. So I still have time for that.
You could do both at the same time. I mean...
Well, that's a big part of it. I mean, this is why I keep saying, and, she's 100% on board, and she asks, like, have you mentioned this to him? And I'm just kind of like, yeah, never seemed like a good time. And she's just like, well, okay, let's try and think of a way that you can bring it up. That's why I think, like, she is such a good therapist for me, because she is, like, a bulldog that is 100% on your side.
That's what you need.
Yeah, she's not going to let me get away with any shit, but I know above that, she's not going to let anybody else sitting in the room get away with saying shit to me.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's why I'm just kind of like, this is why I want that session.
Honestly...
Homeboy's going to be defensive, but that's the best route, either way.
Yeah, and if he gets defensive, she's just going to be like, so you're acting that way because you feel like this. And you're like, no, don't argue with me. That's happening. So that's why I'm like, great. I need her to do that.
Just imagine the gif of someone eating popcorn, and that's me right now. No, I think it is possible he might feel ambushed, but I think you shouldn't worry about that because your feelings in this case are more important than his discomfort.
Exactly. That's been my number one reason, like I said, why I want this joint session to happen, because I have trouble speaking up for myself, obviously, or the worst thing is that when I try to, like, advocate for myself and someone shuts it down in a way that particularly menfolk tend to do, then it's just kind of like, my brain freezes. And the day after, I'll just be like, oh my God, I have so many responses to this. Why, you didn't win that argument just because I didn't respond. Like, you were totally wrong. And I could tell you all the reasons why. But it's too late then.
Can I tell you something to make you uncomfortable?
Of course. Go ahead, make me uncomfortable.
I'm just going to be here.
So standing up for yourself. You put so much more work in standing up for the men who are hurting you than standing up for yourself. Imagine if it were different. Also, I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, see, this is another one of those times where you say something, but I don't want to, I'm not saying, I want to argue with you about that. I'm just kind of like, I'll have a response. Right now, I just got to take that in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can practice those things here. And you can also, it's okay, you can say okay, and then we're done having a conversation, and then you can go back to whoever's conversation. That needs to be allowed more. I feel like adults act like that's not a thing. I actually remember an adult refusing to let his child walk away and calm down while having a discussion because he won't be allowed to in the adult world.
Ugh, I hate those kind of things.
And I'm like, well, why?
Yeah.
You're so right. Oh my God.
I'm always right.
I guess I wouldn't know because I don't fight with people.
I've had to fight a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
Fight me.
That's why you're the person that I'm calling when I need someone's ass kicked. Verbally, physically, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Emotionally. Well, that's the show, everybody. I didn't say on that note, I hope everyone has a good week. And I don't know.
I have a pickle bowl.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's been so long since I've heard that phrase. I love it.
The return of the pickle pole?
Yes.
But it's different and it's uncomfortable.
Great.
Oh God. We're out of time.
Well, it's because, damn, the sound of that vape was so clean. Sorry.
That's what I'm here for. All right.
Okay, so what would you benefit from standing up for yourself? For? Against? You have to stand up for yourself, so tell us something that you can stand up for yourself about that seems realistic. Okay?
Oh God, I can think of like 5 things already. That's great.
Great.
We'll give you all a few weeks to answer it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get 2 weeks to not do it.
And then 1 day.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone. I'm going to go die now.
Oh.
R.I.P.
And by that, I mean, I'm just going to lie down and stare at the ceiling.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go to my local store with my cash that I still have.
Oh, yes. Hallelujah.
Yes.
And Lauren, you just got back from aerials, so you're probably
Yeah, I was going to say,
exhausted.
and I just came back from an aerial class with a possibly broken tailbone, so I'm just going to lay in bed.
Yeah.
God.
You can feel free to tell me how things. I will actually take this offline.
Okay, that's good.
Goodbye.
Bye.
If you like what you heard, tell a friend about the podcast. You can send them to picklesandvodka.substack.com, where they can listen to our entire catalog and find our newest merch. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us a voice message at speakpipe.com/picklesandvodka. My personal Instagram is at xtinajumper, and Lauren's is at Lauren3_AFH. We'll see you next week.